All right, y'all, we're talking about a LED truck bed light install. We are still working on the Ram 2500, 6.4 liter gas, tradesman trim level, 2018. Like I said in the last video, I installed these fender flares and mud flaps that I kind of am happy with and protecting the paint. I might do another video on that still. And so the last video was about the third brake light, and now I've done an install on these LED truck bed lights. Okay, they're kind of meant to go, there's the eighth one there, they're kind of meant to go under the rail here, you know, for regular truck beds, but of course they want you to buy them and put them anywhere in your home, boat, camper, whatever. I got switches over here. I got two switches, one on each side. This is the Audew 8-piece from Amazon. There's another guy that has an install out there on some other ones that have some like strips. It's more like a continuous strip. This one's the pads that have the wire in between. Okay, so coming out of each switch, there's power and ground to the switch and power and ground to the lights. The white is the power, the black is the negative. And I fished those down into the holes. Same hole I used for my third brake light. I kind of guided it around this clamp, and then on its way back up into there. I can show you that in a second. And the same thing on this side, fed it down into there rather than going through the taillight assembly. I use a combination of two zip ties to hold this down because they have these little clips on them that kind of hold to something, but I didn't want them coming loose every time I flip the switch on and off. So I put one zip tie around this gap to make a, you know, something to grip onto, and then put the other zip tie around the switch and onto there. So it's pretty sturdy now. You know, you can flip it pretty, you know, aggressively, and it doesn't just wiggle all over the place like it was when the just the clip was involved. And of course on the other side I broke off one of the clips and had to turn it around, but at least you got one on each side. Looking at what we had to use, scissors, pliers. I ended up using the little screws to help hold up the lights. I hope they do hold up. So I had to get the right screw bit for that. A little bit of electrical stuff. I did get some crimpers this time for the butt connectors, and let me tell you, it really helps as opposed to trying to use pliers or the thing I you know, fixed up last time, and a little extra wire. I didn't need extra wire for the ground. I just used blue again for the power. This is trash. Electrical tape, some sockets. I actually had to use a deep well socket, zip ties, and a heat gun to shrink it up. Okay, so showing what this all goes down to here under the truck. If you saw my install on the third brake light, you know that I was tapping into this bundle of wires that Dodge has included here in the rear of the wiring system. And mine is on the passenger side. Okay, some of the older ones are on the driver's side, and it was fine. I got one that worked for brake light. In another video I saw, this guy was talking about chassis trucks. He said that the wires should be one for always on and one for when the accessory light is on. I really couldn't get either one of them to do anything. I'm not sure what I ended up doing wrong with that, so I left that alone. I'm gonna have to close that back up, and ended up using the 7-pin red wire. Okay, so on the 7-pin trailer harness, which is what a lot of people say to connect to, they say the red is the always on. So coming here out of this connector, this is not just tape, it's in some of that flex tubing. So I was trying to like cut into that, and then I realized what I was dealing with. So I tried to follow it along to somewhere where it would be a little easier to get to. And I found this place where it was just tape alone, kind of heavy fabric tape, but I got into it and I'm going to seal that up I didn't say in the supplies, I used a T-tap connector. So I just clamped that around the red wire and then punched in the jack end. And these are my two blue wires, one from each side on one connector to the T-tap. So one of them, as you can see, goes up there and over to the driver's side. That other blue wire is my third brake light wire. And then the other blue wire is coming from the passenger side of the LED light. Okay, so coming down from up above, just like the third brake light, there was plenty of ground in the Audew kit. And the only place this one seemed to like to ground was on bare metal touching the frame. It didn't seem to like any painted or coated material, so I had to get it up under this bolt. So I split the wire, got them zip tied here, and then, like the guy in the other Audew video said, it was a few inches short, so I had to add, pinch that a little better. I might need to get some heat shrink for these things. I had to add a little bit of glue just to get over to here. And I added even extra to keep it up above the frame there instead of underneath. It would have been shorter underneath, but I felt like more exposed. So again, I'm going to close that up. And then the other blue wire is a long extension from this side. Again, going up to the side up there. So there's the black and white coming down from the passenger side LED light. Got a zip tie. And I used the same bolt on this side on the bumper. Again, it seemed to only like bare exposed metal, nothing coated, nothing painted. And then the other one here, and I didn't use as many zip ties because I found a lot of handy holes here and there in the frame, you know, places like this where I could just feed the wire along over there. Okay, so that's how we got to power. That was the spot, and that was the biggest fact-finding mission of the whole thing. All right, and so then just after that point, once we knew we had power, it was just a matter of figuring out how to attach the switches. So I ended up using, you know, like I said, the zip ties for the switches, and then I kind of fished this around up inside my cap, and I did see one person saying that they weren't happy with the adhesive on these as far as going on to carpeted headliner. So I used the additional screw. They only gave me 8 screws, and there's 8 of these, and they each have 2 holes, so you might have wanted 16. I'm hoping that 1 is enough to stabilize it. And I'm not really sure what I'm biting into, if I got just carpet or if it went into the fiberglass somewhat. But hopefully it's enough support to keep it from coming dangling down. If I have to do anything to it. I did find that Velcro seems to hold pretty good to this side of this stuff. So maybe just the 1/2 of some, you know, Velcro tape, just the hook side, I might replace underneath these if they start coming down. But I'm excited, I'm happy about it. Hopefully when we go camping or are working with equipment at night, it's not going to be quite so bad trying to get in and out of here. And that's it for this video. Hopefully, I bet some of you have some suggestions for how to do things better or whatever. So please, whatever, if you want to comment. But finding the 7-pin harness hot wire, the red always on, was definitely the key. And everything else kind of fell from there with butt joints, butt connectors. And this is what the T-tap looked like. You got the piece that clamps on and the clip that comes into that. And these are all available at the Auto Store, and the other stuff is Home Depot level stuff, which hopefully you already have. All right, guys, thanks for listening.